Peace is a creation of a system that is in conflict. If there was no conflict, there would be no need for peace. It's very simple. So when you pursue peace in the world, ask yourself, why do we need peace? Freedom is the biggest lie of the monetary system. But what does it really mean to be free?
The word freedom has really no definition unless you sit down and ask the person, what do you mean by freedom? If I don't like the neighbor next door and I shoot him, is that what you mean by freedom? What do you mean by freedom? Oh no, manage limitations on human behavior. Then don't use the word freedom. Just say that in the United States there's a certain range of behavior that's permissible, and you list that range of behavior that's permissible. But you don't use words like freedom. There can never be freedom in a society.
Right.
You know, when countries start to tell their people, you're free and you have democracy, if they had to keep saying that, watch out. I don't know what freedom is when, how many millions, over 40 million people can't even get medical care. You don't drive the kind of car you want to drive, you drive the kind of car you can afford to drive. I don't know how many people live in the kind of house and they're free to live in the kind of house they want to live in. They live in what they can afford to live in. They don't have foods. They can't send their kids to school. They don't know what's going on and they don't know how they're being manipulated, but they believe these words.
The interesting thing about this country is they talk about how we have freedom of choice. You know, we have freedom of choice. Yeah, very limited. If it's an important thing, limited choice. Two political parties, essentially, two. Big media companies, 5, 6.
Max.
Yeah. Oil companies, down to 3 now, I think, overall, 3 or 4. Banks, the big brokerage houses, the big accounting firms, all of the things that are important reduced in choice. Newspapers in the city, how many? Used to be 3, 4, now it's 1 or 2, that are owned by the same people, and they also own a radio station and a TV station. But jelly beans, 32 flavors. Ice cream, all the things that don't matter. The unimportant things, a lot of choices. And you know what I say? You know what your freedom of choice is in America? Paper or plastic. That's it, man. It comes down to paper or plastic, cash or charge, aisle or window, smoking or non-smoking, Coke or Pepsi. These are your choices. Everything else is kind of laid out for you. You get to do what they really want. They do what they want. The ones who own this country, they do what they want.
Speaking of our choices being usurped or taken away from us, what do you make of what? And I'm fascinated to ask you this because all the things that you've been talking about for years. We've come full circle on this stuff. That's why I was so fascinated, and thank you for coming on the program.
Sure.
But here we are now, 30 years after you were talking about it, with this huge debate, this huge fight about whether or not our civil liberties are being taken away from us. What are your thoughts on?
Well, I think if you looked at the record of laws which have been passed in the last 30 to 40 years, there's a thing called social hysteria. Social hysteria is whipped up generally by the media. Crime, in Nixon's time, crime was the big social hysteria issue. There's too much crime, they're coddling, the courts are coddling the criminals, we have tougher laws. So a lot of civil liberties went away in terms of the rights of criminals and the rights of the accused and people going on trial. These were limited, they were cut down. These rights which are guaranteed by the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Another social hysteria, drugs. The drug thing happened, same thing. Big flow of drugs, we're going to fight the drugs, we need newer, tougher laws, we need draconian sentences, we need to be able to go into houses, we need to be able to do this, we have reasonable reason, all of these shortcuts have resulted in less liberties because of social hysteria. The media whips up the frenzy, people get all excited, the legislature passes it, the president, the executive signs it, and the judges, then the judicial branch okays it sometime later when it gets to them. And what has happened is you have less freedom, less liberties, less civil liberties, less rights. And the third social hysteria is terrorism. That was whipped up. Now it's a little more cause there. You look at the 9/11, it's a very dramatic event. But that too has been used with this Patriot Act to reduce our liberties. They say, well, if you have nothing to hide, what are you worried about? You know that whole argument. Tell me about the people that are, just getting out of prison because of the DNA. If they had nothing to hide. It's just, listen, this country is owned by the ownership class. They do pretty much what they want.
Let's see how free you are in the monetary system. Since you were born, you're labelled and an ID is assigned to you by the monetary system without your permission. Your body needs food. Most is held by the monetary system, and to obtain it you must follow the rules. School, college, work, law. There are so many laws that even your words are limited in public. Reasons such as vulgarity or offence are used as justification, but those are false. The language you use is determined by the area you live in, which you can't choose. This limits your ability to communicate in other parts of the world, social classes, etc. Try to analyse how free you are, or rather how constrained you are by the monetary system. There will never be freedom because this word cannot be defined. You are free within some limits, so these limits need to be expanded by creating a society based on the Earth's resources and abundance of goods and services, a society for human concern based on the scientific method. The monetary system unfortunately can't be used in such a society because it is based on profit. There is no way to make profit from abundance, so the monetary system will become obsolete. Look at the planet. Think about how free you are as a human being. How free you are to discover more about your existence. How much access you have to technology. How free you are to express your ideas. On Earth, you have to spend around 8 hours a day out of 24 to survive. If virtually 4/5 of all your life will be spent at school or work, then when are you free to learn about your existence, the universe, about how your body works, about death, about all that surrounds you? If you are not interested in such subjects, what do you live for? Why do you consider yourself an intelligent form of life?